Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in this video today, we're going to be talking about how the Tampa Bay Buccaneers can attack Patrick Mahomes. And this is going to be arguably the most important thing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers' success in this upcoming Super Bowl is how they are able to get after Patrick Mahomes. And I've looked at a lot of other opinions online, and I've done a lot of research about this topic, and I've come up with, my own thoughts on how the Tampa Bay Buccaneers should do this. Now, keep in mind, I'm not a defensive coordinator. I never will be a defensive coordinator in the NFL. These are just my thoughts based on my own observations. Now, it's no secret, Patrick Mahomes in the previous game versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had a pretty good game. 37-49, 462 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He was sacked twice in that game. The Buccaneers lost 27-24, but it is important to note that the Kansas City Chiefs scored 20 out of their 27 points in the first half, and then after that, they only came away with 7 points. So the adjustments that the Buccaneers made in the second half were pretty darn good. But when looking at how to stop Patrick Mahomes, first things first, you're probably not going to be able to stop Patrick Mahomes, at least entirely. Much like I talked about in the case of Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, you're just going to be able to limit the damage that a guy like Patrick Mahomes can do. There's a reason that a lot of people are calling him the next Tom Brady, the next GOAT, potentially. He's really good at the footballs, and in my opinion, he's probably the best quarterback in the NFL today. I don't really think it's much of a competition unless you want to say, like Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers or something like that. I mean, Mahomes is crazy. I am, very respectful of Patrick Mahomes. He's really freaking good, but there are ways to rattle quarterbacks in this league. I mean, any quarterback, if they get hit enough times, can get rattled. We've seen it with Tom Brady in certain situations. We just saw with Aaron Rodgers versus the Green Bay Packers in the NFC Championship game. I mean, it doesn't really matter how good a quarterback is. If you can get pressure on them, they can make mistakes. So that's the key. Getting pressure on Patrick Mahomes. That is going to be the key. And the Buccaneers have a pretty decent opportunity considering both of their starting right tackles, and I believe one of their starting guards, are not expected to play in this game. They're dealing with a lot of injuries along that offensive line, which is huge for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, by the way. And they just came off of a game where they played the team that, in my opinion, is probably the most closely built structurally, comparably, I guess I should say, to the Kansas City Chiefs, that being the Green Bay Packers. I think that the Green Bay Packers and the Kansas City Chiefs compare pretty darn well, even at the quarterback position. When comparing Aaron Rodgers to Patrick Mahomes, they play some pretty similar styles, again, in my opinion. But one of the best things that I saw coming away from that Green Bay Packers game, and what I think is going to be the main key to the success of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense versus Patrick Mahomes, is going to be how much pressure they get without blitzing. I know a lot of people are going to say the immediate answer to getting pressure on Patrick Mahomes is just going to be blitz, blitz, blitz. But according to some next, advanced stats and things along those lines, Patrick Mahomes is one of the better quarterbacks versus the blitz in the entire NFL. In fact, I think that he is the best quarterback versus the blitz in the entire NFL, and it makes sense. Patrick Mahomes is an absolute magician in the pocket. He can evade pressure like nobody else, and I talked about it in the previous video. I don't think the Buccaneers should blitz as much as a lot of people may or may not think. I would sacrifice the blitzing ability of Devin White to put him and Lavonte David in coverage and focus on covering as many guys as possible. Now, I look at this Buccaneers front seven, basically, and I look at Vita Vea and Dominic Sue, Will Golston, Shaq, Barrett, and Jason Pierre-Paul. Those are the guys who need to get that pressure on Patrick Mahomes. And Shaq Barrett and Jason Pierre-Paul are coming off of a huge game. They just got 5 sacks together combined on Aaron Rodgers in that Green Bay Packers game in the NFC Championship game. They need to have another game like that to really help out this Buccaneers defense versus Patrick Mahomes, because it's not going to be an easy task. And I do think people are underrating this Buccaneers defense, especially the pass rush that we've seen from them as of late, because with Vita Vea being back, in my opinion, it's going to be better. You know, one of the biggest reasons that I was so excited as to Vita Vea coming back to this team for the NFC Championship game was the opportunities that he was going to give the other pass rushers of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Shaq Barrett and Jason Pierre-Paul ended that game with 5 sacks combined. Now Vita Vea is going to be 2 weeks healthier, and we need to see pretty much the exact same thing that we saw versus the Green Bay Packers, is not sending a ton of blitzes. You can still send some blitzes when you deem it necessary, but overall, it's got to be guys like Ndamukong Suh, Vita Vea, Shaq Barrett, Jason Pierre-Paul, and a little bit of Will Golston who need to get that pressure without the help of sending blitzers, because that is going to be one of the biggest keys. If you're able to have a lot of guys back in coverage, not send a blitz, but still get pressure on Patrick Mahomes, that is going to be huge. I cannot state that enough. And fingers crossed it does happen, given the injury concerns that the Chiefs have do have along the offensive line, that guys like Shaq Barrett, like Jason Pierre-Paul, by the way, Shaq Barrett being in a contract year, can benefit from the interior pressure that Vita Vea, Suh, Will Golston are creating, and can get to that outside edge and bring pressure to Patrick Mahomes. Again, he's a very mobile guy, Mahomes is. He can evade pressure and extend plays as long as humanly possible with his legs. It's why he's the best quarterback in the NFL right now, pretty much. But having Levante David, having Devin White, put them back in coverage, not blitzing a safety, not blitzing a cornerback, just have those 5 guys, and rotating in guys like Raheem Nunez, Roche, Steve McClendon, among other guys along that defensive line, even Anthony Nelson a little bit. That's going to be the biggest key, is not blitzing, but making sure the 4 or 5 guys that you do send are getting pressure. That's going to be huge. I would even consider dropping Shaq Barrett or Jason Pierre-Paul into coverage and only sending one of them, and hoping that Suh, Vita Vea, Will Golston, and then either JPP or Shaq can bring that pressure with 4 people, just to have as many guys in coverage as possible. That's what I would consider, and that's one of the biggest ways that I feel you can have success against Patrick Mahomes, is if you can get the pass rush going without having to blitz. I think that that is going to be a huge key. But guys, with that being said, let me know your thoughts about my points that I made down in the comment section below. What do you think about the idea of blitzing versus non-blitzing in this upcoming Super Bowl? And who do you think has the best chance to shine given the injuries to this Chiefs offensive line? Give me your thoughts down in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs!